Hi guys, it's Chris here with selfmadenewbie.com, and in this video we're going to talk about how to become a travel blogger or travel vlogger. How do you reach that goal of location independence? I'm going to cover a couple of mistakes that I think most people make, and also give a solution, a bit of a mindset shift with regards to how you should think about setting off on this journey and starting this kind of business. So before we get into all that, it really helps out the channel if you drop a like on this video, hit subscribe and turn on that bell if you want to be updated with new videos coming out like this all the time to help you find success online. So a couple of days ago I was with friends, and I remember one girl brought up this idea of traveling while making money. Someone asked her, like, what do you want to do? What are your goals or something like that? And she said, I'd really love to just, travel, go around the world, write about it. And we started sort of trying to break down, how much sense that actually made. How would you actually make that work? How do people actually go about making that work? So before we get into talking about the solution, how you actually make it work, I'm just gonna go through just two mistakes that I think people make when starting out. I think the first mistake people make is that they just don't understand business fundamentals. And if I had to give you the most, basic fundamental business, what a business is it's really solving a pain point. So people have different pain points in all kinds of different areas, and if you can solve that, people will come rushing and they'll give you their money, and there you essentially have a business. If you look at any business in the world, they're solving some form of pain point, or they're making life easier for people. I think a lot of people, when they start out trying to create a travel blog, they kind of look at what other people are doing and all they see is the flash, and they see them, traveling, taking cool videos, taking cool pictures, and then they think that they can just do that and they'll start just somehow making money from the sky. And the thing you got to realize is that most people actually, they only care about their own lives. If you're very entertaining, if you're a very good videographer, then people might watch you. But if that isn't you, if you're not on that level, it's much easier to just stick to basic business fundamentals and try to fix a pain point that people have. People are not just going to care about your life so much that they're just going to, give you donations on Patreon or to your PayPal just because you're somebody and you're you and you want to travel. It doesn't really make sense, and it's not a reliable strategy. This moves into mistake number two, and this might be kind of a harsh realization and a time to kind of humble yourself. But for most people, their personality and also their ability to take videos are not where their strengths lie. Unfortunately, the people who do make it as travel vloggers and just seem to be traveling and getting paid, their personalities are unique. They are willing to put themselves into, awkward, often difficult, semi-dangerous situations that are going to get them those views. The things that they talk about are also interesting, and a lot of people out there, they might actually be subtly fixing a pain point and adhering to that basic business fundamental, but you're just seeing them travel around, and because you don't understand what they're really doing, there are a lot of people out there who might be actually selling guides, or there might be a subtle difference in their video. So, one video might be, me out in Bali enjoying myself, and one might be how to survive in Bali. And they both might have a lot of cool cinematography, videography, but one is subtly a bit different because it's solving a pain point for somebody. So you've got to look out for what people are actually doing. And if you don't understand, what it means, what a business is, or the fundamentals behind it, you're not going to see those subtle differences, and therefore you're not going to understand why maybe one person is making tons of money and they seem to be doing the same thing as you, but you're not. The chances are they're probably doing something different. The chances are their personality is their strength. The chances are their videography, their cinematography, the way they shoot a video, they have mini plot lines, they understand storytelling, and that's more likely the cause. They probably just understand something that you don't, and you're kind of just left scratching your head. It kind of reminds me of that Instagram influencer a couple of years ago who had something like 2 million followers, and she tried to sell some merch, some t-shirts, and she only made like 10 sales. Now, this is because her audience was not buyer traffic or a buyer audience, it was just a general audience. Okay, so she thought all these people liked her and they'd buy whatever she was selling, but really it was probably just guys, who liked the fact that she wasn't wearing that much clothing. And a lot of I want to say female bloggers or influencers, you know, a lot of them make this mistake. They have all of this following and people tell them, hey, you should sell a makeup brand. And they're like, okay, and they don't really dig into the analytics of who's following them, and they try to sell makeup and then they realize their entire following is men. So think about also the fact that you want a buyer traffic, buyers. You want a buyer audience as opposed to a general audience. And I'm telling you this is true. A buyer audience of 10,000 followers is much more profitable, much better to have than just a general audience of 1 million followers. So the solution is, don't be a travel blogger, be a traveler who has a blog. Because the good news is you can create a blog about anything, you can find pain points in any niche, and you can solve problems for people without even really being that much of an expert. You just have to be maybe 2 to 3 steps above your average person, and a lot of people out there will be willing to listen to you. So as I said before, a lot of these people who seem to be traveling around, you know, there's subtleties to their content that you might not recognize. So for example, I know a channel where, you know, this guy travels the world, but his videos are slightly more geared towards surviving, to traveling on a budget. Now, while he has a lot of the same cinematography as just a normal kind of traveler might have, he's actually helping people who have this, maybe they're already in that country, maybe they're planning to go there, they don't know what to do, they don't know where the good places are, and they're willing to watch a video like his that is titled like he's titled his, like surviving in Thailand or something like that. And then they're also willing to buy his guides that he has on the back end. So people have the pain point of not wanting to go somewhere where they feel lost, or they're not making the most of their holiday and they've just spent a lot of money on it. And he's fixing that pain point by saying, hey, here's this, you know, fast track guide, just read it, it'll take you 10 minutes and you'll know all the cheapest places, all the best places to go to. Another guy I know of, he's like a single guy, he travels around the world, but the subtle difference in his videos, again, while he has cool cinematography and all that and makes the place look really cool, he's actually, you know, meeting people, he's actually doing a bit of Tinder in different countries, he's meeting girls, and there's a slight little twist on his videos where he'll also, in probably 50% of his videos, he'll also just give dating advice to other men, and then he has like his guide of like cultural norms in different countries, things to do, things not to do, also a bit of advice, where to take girls, things of that nature. So he's fixing a massive pain point for people out there who are lonely, they want companionship, they might have moved somewhere, they want to find a girlfriend, and he's fixing that pain point for them. Also, while some of his videos are showing really cool traveling videos, he isn't so much just a travel blogger, he is a blogger who travels. Now, you can travel and have a blog, and the blog can be fixing any pain point in any industry. You know, you can help people with gardening, to fitness, to being on the ketogenic diet while traveling, you know, to model car creating. You know, there are so many different niches out there. It's much easier to have a blog and travel than it is to be a travel blogger. But if being a travel blogger is your goal, you do want to just take pictures and videos, then you can always have the time to do that on the side. But if you want to achieve, you know, this traveling life as quickly as possible, it's better to start with business fundamentals, solving a pain point with your blog, getting paid, and then that still allows you to travel. So the late Steve Jobs, he used to say, always work backwards, okay? So what you want to do is you got to think, well, what is your actual goal? Like, is your goal to be a travel blogger and write the blog? Or is your goal to actually just travel and go to a bunch of cool places? Now, I'm willing to bet it's the latter. So you have to think backwards. Okay, I want to travel to wherever I want, when I want, okay? Hopefully when this pandemic is over. How do you do that? Well, I need money. Well, what kind of money do I need? Well, I need location independent money. It's like, well, how do I do that? Well, how do you get paid with location independence? Well, you need a business that you can run anywhere in the world, and that needs to be an online business. Well, what are the online businesses? Well, you know, you could fix pain points. That's a big business fundamental. And you're like, well, what pain points can I fix? Well, I need to find out what my strengths are. I need to find what it is that I'm 2 to 3 steps ahead of other people with, what they'll listen to me about or read about what I've written, if it's a written blog. And then from there, you can find products that you can, offer to these people. And really, you're just working backwards, finding what your strengths are, finding how to apply those strengths to a niche. And there is really a formula to this that you just might not know about. And believe me, people are much, much more willing to give money to someone who is solving pain points than just, giving to someone who wants to travel the world and it's just for entertainment purposes. And when I say pain points, I don't mean physical pain, even though that is the most powerful pain point, but I'm talking about pain points like people, want to look good when they wear a swimsuit. There's a pain point. There's embarrassment there. People want to quit drinking. They hate their life. They hate that they have this addiction. People don't want to be lonely. People want to meet people. They want to date, men and women. And within that, there's women meeting men, men meeting women, men meeting men. Under each of these primary umbrellas, there are multiple niche industries beneath them. So there's niches all over the place that you can create content and fix pain points around. Now, I know that all sounds like a lot of work, but it actually isn't. It's something that can actually be achieved, within a month, okay? For me, it took about 2 years of trial and error, but for you, it doesn't have to take as long. So what I've done is I've basically distilled everything I just told you into a blueprint, into a formula, and I've called this program the Silver Spoon Program. And I've called it that for a reason. I've called it the Silver Spoon Program because I'm literally taking you through all those steps. I told you how to work backwards, we're gonna actually work forwards, and really you just need to stay consistent, and I'm gonna tell you what to do, when to do it. You don't really have to do any of the thinking whatsoever. It's been designed in a way where you're just gonna be, spoon-fed, the steps to creating that kind of business. And you might be like, well, I don't know what my strengths are, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to find pain points. It's all covered. It's all covered from step one to step I'm making money and I'm going wherever I want. I know the saying goes, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat forever. That's all great. You'll definitely learn a lot. I'm definitely gonna teach you a lot, but it is, as I said, designed in a way where I'm also just giving you the damn fish. So that's my 2 cents on how to become a travel blogger. That is the route I would take. I believe that is the quickest route to success. Rather than being a travel blogger and thinking people are just gonna throw money at you because you're so great, maybe you can contribute to a community, find pain points, fix pain points. You can do that inside Silver Spoon, find out all about it. So if you are interested in that, do click the link in the description and you can get started right away. And I will see you in there inside the community that is also part of the program. Take care.